Assalamu alaikum guys, it's your girl Hindu hapa. Sasa on to today's episode. First of all, I want to thank you for tuning in on this episode. This episode is so close to my heart in that it talks about the feelings ambao huwa tuko nazo but we are not ready to share. I had talked about like a sister episode to this ni ile episode ya fear. So this resonates mostly kama ile ya fear, but I'll call it navigating loneliness, my journey and coping strategies. Sawa? So loneliness, sote tunajua what loneliness is. But there is this Uber fact I read yasema loneliness is compared to smoking 15 cigarettes in a day. That's how deep the feeling is, imagine. So personally, I first experienced loneliness back in 2016. Growing up, I've always been an extrovert. I've always been in a group. Nilikuwa like I'm always the clown of the group. Ukiuliza ni nani utaambiwa ni Hindu. But 2016, back when I was in high school, in uni, I think in my second year mwisho, I was in a group of a lot of people I know, lakini still na feel like siko. I don't know, do you guys ever felt that? Na feel like niko, like okay, watu wako pale, but personally me siko, emotionally siko. Na wallahi, it really did, like from there it's when I started seeing kuwa you can be around people. Loneliness is not the absence of people not being there. Waweza kawa watu wako na still experience hii loneliness. Pia I've been losing people in my life tangu 2020 yanze. I lost a grand uncle, I lost an aunt on my mom's side, or grand uncle alikuwa ni on my mom's side. Auntie yangu, ndugu yake babangu, I lost her back in 2020. I lost my grandfather back in 2020, 2021. Nikaanza ku lose my uncle, brother yake babangu. And 2022, for those who know, last year, October, I lost my dad. So somehow, the presence, the absence of these people in my life, I kind of felt like, a certain part of me went with them. I feel like evil. Because, like, ile nail, the last, the last blow on the nail ilikuwa here, my dad. Like, a man you've, like, shared all your life from when you are zero, from when you are negative. Mpaka you are 28, like your whole life you've known this guy is around. Suddenly hayuko, like we have this watu wanasema ni imposter syndromes, like you feel like ako lakini hayuko. It has really, like I'm flirting with the idea of kuondokewa, but it's si rahisi, asikwambie mtu, it's not easy. Sasa defining loneliness. Sasa loneliness yasemwaje, wait kidogo. Loneliness is a complex and multi-faced emotional state characterized by a subjective feeling of social isolation or a perceived lack of meaningful social connections. It is important to note that loneliness is not solely determined by quantity of social interaction, but by the perceived quality and satisfaction derived from this interaction. Loneliness can exist in various forms. Kuna different types of hii mambo ya loneliness. Sawa? There is emotional loneliness ambao this form occurs when an individual feels emotionally disconnected or lacking in close, intimate relationship. They may long for deep emotional connections with others and a feel of sense of emptiness for longing. Yani, ukweli hii, mimi nilikuwa nikiona zamani, ikiwa you have a partner in your life, you won't feel lonely. But it's not the case. Most married people are lonely, imagine. So loneliness really, like, it's not, yani emotionally paka ufeel satisfaction fulani kwenye emotions zako ndo usifeel lonely. Kuna hini social loneliness hini iko characterized by lack of border of social network or a feeling of being excluded from social gathering and activities. Individual experience social loneliness may crave more casual social interaction or a sense of belonging in a community. This is more of fitting in. Uone mabeshte zako tuseme wameenda out, wewe hawakukualika, or you just want to do something to fit into that certain group. This is social loneliness. Kisha kuna transient loneliness. Hii ni temporary. Ona, he arise due to specific life circumstances or event. For example, someone might feel he or lonely after moving to a new city, experiencing a breakup, or losing a loved one. Once the situation change or they adapt, the loneliness often diminishes. Hii mara nyingi yatokea tuseme umeenda vacation, ukirudi sasa tuseme nyumbani, there's that loneliness huwa wa feel. I don't know how to say this, lakini ukijaribu ama ukiwa umejaribu new cities, umetoka tuseme ulikuwa wewe waishi Lamu, ukajaribu kwenda kuishi Malindi sasa, the first 2-3 weeks huwa ni quite hard, but ukianza kuadopt wasahau, like hii loneliness hii yaenda. Another one ni chronic loneliness. Hini is persistent, ni long-term feeling of isolation that may extend for months or even years. It is often linked to underlying mental health issues and can have detrimental effects on physical and emotional well-being. Hii, to be honest, I don't know, mimi yangu imeanza kuwa for months sahi, like for chronic loneliness I've started feeling such feelings back in February this year. All along I've been able to, like, ilikuwa ni hizi zaitwaje transient loneliness ya kukaa kidogo yaenda, kukaa kidogo, but from Feb mpaka leo, like, the feeling is there, haitaki kuondoka, you know, like, hey you guys, it's not easy. If I am being vulnerable, it's not easy experiencing such feelings, wallahi. And yeah, that's why I'm doing a podcast about it, hoping to get a solution out of it. Situational loneliness hini occurs as a result of specific situations or event. For instance, individuals who work remotely or live in a remote areas may experience situational loneliness due to limited access to social interactions. Hiyo it's self-explanatory. Kisha kuna existential loneliness. This form of loneliness involves a deep sense of existential isolation, where individual may grapple with fundamental questions about the meaning and purpose of life. It can occur even when surrounded by others. Umeona hiyo? Like, surrounded by people doesn't mean you won't feel lonely. Hiyo ni kujidanganya. Ati you are among people, so I should know. You can be surrounded by everyone, every person you love, and still, like, iko bado. Kisha kuna collective loneliness. This concept emerged during the COVID-19 pandemic and refers to a shared sense of isolation experienced by entire communities or society due to factors like lockdown, social distancing, and hii siku hizi hakuna sana. Kisha kuna digital loneliness. With the advent of technology and social media, some individual may experience digital loneliness, which is characterized by feeling disconnected or unfulfilled despite having many online connections. It can result from shallow online interaction or excessive screen time. This is what I'm also having. Like, someone thinks I have a lot of followers, so she's happy, she has friends. To be honest, like today, speaking of today, my followers on Instagram tu peke yake ni kuja niangalie wanga to be honest, yani ndo mjue among hawa wote nilioko nao, I have 5,377 followers. I follow 762 people with 339 posts as of today, 18th September. But niulize, do I have meaningful connections with hawa watu wote, with all these 5,000 people? Do I have meaningful connection with them? Ama tuseme okay, 5,000 ni nyingi, hawa 762 people I'm following, do I have meaningful conversation? Do I call them when I am at my lowest? Do they even know that I get to my lowest? Some people don't even know that we experience these things. These things are there, wallahi, and it's way watch. Hii siombei hata my worst of the enemy, siwezi ombea hii. It's important to recognize that loneliness can have negative effects on mental and physical health, including increased stress, anxiety, depression, and a weakened immune system. Addressing loneliness often involves building and maintaining meaningful social connections, seeking support, and focusing on self-care and mental health. Wallahi, this is what I'm doing. Like, I am so... I want to change hii narrative ya kuwa I just want to change your narrative, you guys. Like, I want to not feel lonely. Is that even something? Kisha, the prevalence of loneliness in today's society, especially among young adults. Loneliness imekuwa reported to, like, watoto wa high school have been experiencing. Wacha watoto wa high school at least ni teens, from as low as tuseme 7 years. In today's society imekuwa loneliness is iko, yani imekuwa for such, you know, like, I don't know guys, we kind of need, there is something wrong somewhere, you know. Haiwezi kuwa ni Hindu tu is feeling lonely. I believe I'm not the only one. Anyhow, the prevalence of loneliness is a complex and multifaceted issue that can vary significantly across different population, age group, and regions. Loneliness is generally characterized by a subjective feeling of social isolation and a lack of meaningful social connection, which can lead to negative emotional and mental health outcome. Factors ambazo contribute, we could say age. Loneliness can affect people of all ages, but it often appears more pronounced among certain groups, such as older adults who may experience social isolation due to retirement, loss of loved ones, or physical limitation. However, young adults and adolescents can also experience loneliness, especially in today's digital age. Ndo mimi nilikuwa nawaambia, I read somewhere kuwa in the US watoto as young as 10 wame experience loneliness. The social circumstances. Loneliness can be influenced by one's social circumstances, such as living alone, being geographically isolated, or lacking a strong social support system. Sasa, this is where I come in. I want to create one strong social system huku Nairobi. I started with the Asria promoting businesses. Next, inshallah, next Asria will announce it very soon. I want to do something with women ambao si business oriented. Just something. We need like a social group ya wasichana. We need like a support group, tuwe twaenda, we have fun, yule ameleta hichi, like just like a sense of belonging to some group ambao iwe ni safe space pia. Sio basi mimi nakwambia issue zangu, basi umetoka mgonda kuzianika. Like it needs to be confidential. It needs to be like, you know, supportive. Kitu kama hiyo, even if you are not agreeing with whatever path I'm taking, lakini uwe at least supportive, kitu kama hiyo. Kisha there is technology. Paradoxically, while technology has connected people digitally, it can sometimes contribute to feeling of loneliness due to the perception of superficial online connection and decreased face-to-face interaction. Personally, I have unfollowed a lot of people, not because like I don't like them or no, because nimeona the pace their life, like the pace, the way their life is going is not the way my life is going. Na naona mtu ni kama tuseme same age, so mimi pia sitaki kuwa niwe namfanyia aini yeye, so I just unfollow. Ama another thing with social media, hii kuwa hatuonani, like okay twaonana but hatuonani yani kwenye roho, twaonana kwenye sura tu, lakini like hugs siku hizi haziko so intense. I remember when my mom went to the US, alvorudi the hug I gave her was like genuine yani. Lakini siku hizi like I have people waishi nje, like siku hizi twafanya video call, twafanya wakija, like I'm like this is normal, like tulizungumza tu last week kwa video call. Like I don't see the need ya kumpa mtu hug from the I don't know, you guys, am I the only one? Please like contribute, nielezeni like how do you like what factors we waona za zimeongeza hii loneliness. Another thing is the mental health. Hii loneliness often mara nyingi are linked to mental health issues such as depression, anxiety. This condition can both be a cause and a consequences of loneliness. Speaking from someone who has been through the whole ya depression, manake nimeingia then nikatoka, nikaona hapo ndo rock bottom. Kumbe rock bottom had an underground ndugu yangu, like thinking we hapa ndo mwisho, like this is the last feeling waweza feel. Kumbe ile hata alikuwa hauja feel, yani Mungu alikuwa hata haja kutest. You end up feeling these other feelings ambao, well, to be honest, I'm not comparing, but I feel like loneliness imenifanya niwe like nalia sana. Like I feel, I don't know you guys, hii podcast I feel niliamua niwe vulnerable. Sometimes you feel like yani mimi jamani, nilikosea wapi? You know, like a lot of people wanakujua but at the same time they don't know you. Like is it normal for you guys? Like I don't know, most people who are like, you like it's your girl, but to be honest, I want more than that. I want like emotionally connections. I want someone ambao I'm not walking on eggshells. I want not someone si mmoja, like I want a group of friends ambayo like waweza tapika anything without kufikiria consequences, you know. Alhamdulillah, I'm not being ungrateful. I have friends ambao naweza enda tapika and like life will move on. Alhamdulillah, for Mahaz, for my boss Amina, for Rahma, for Najma, like Ata Halima, like she's a sister-in-law to my mom, but we are somehow the same age. Like for some reason, waiza tapika a part of you with them and without being judged. Ata sister-in-law wangu Mariam, I'm not being ungrateful. But I feel Ata J, by the way, haya shanza kutaja watu. But I feel like I still have walls high with them. Hata wao, hata Mahaz, no matter how much I'm open to her and like I feel like hanijui, like it's hard kunijua like fully. You know, you guys, I don't know, maybe mimi nimejiwekea high walls, but that's what is killing me. Hiyo sasa ndo like kufunguka kwa mtu, it takes time. Anyhow, another thing that can cause loneliness is life transition. Major life transitions such as moving to a new city, starting or ending a relationship, or changing jobs can trigger feeling of loneliness. I remember I experienced once traveled from juzi tu hii kutoka Lamu kuja Nairobi kustart hii Kenya School of Law. I kind of felt like I don't want to leave Lamu cause nisha figure out Lamu. I'm like sasa ndo naenda tena kuanza Nairobi. Like there is that, I felt it. Kisha nilivyokuja nikaja Nairobi nika-adjust, nikaijua Nairobi. Wajua Nairobi nayo needs time kitambo uijue. Anyway, nilivyoijua, alhamdulillah somehow nimenavigate. Sasa ukiniambia nitoke Nairobi, I feel like it's another loneliness coming. Ama what do you guys feel? Ukitoka from one place to another, cause sisi we've been moving tangu tuko wadogo. We've been moving, tumetoka Lamu tukaenda Malindi, from Malindi tukaenda Mombasa, from Mombasa tukabakia. Mimi I used to go to Uganda back and forth. Every time nikifika Uganda I feel I need to go back to Kenya. Nikifika Kenya I'm like ningekaa kidogo, you know, hiyo I feel like it's temporary. Huwa yaja ikiondoka. Another ingine wasema pandemic effect because of COVID-19, as we've spoken earlier. It's important to note that prevalence of loneliness can be challenging to quantify accurately, as it is subjective experience that varies from one person to person. Survey and studies may provide estimates of loneliness prevalence, but the number can vary widely based on the methodology and definition used. Addressing loneliness often involves creating supportive community, fostering social connection, promoting mental health awareness, and providing access to resources and services. Recognizing and addressing loneliness is essential for improving overall well-being and mental health in society. So, as we have understood loneliness sahi and how factors nini zilofanya, mimi one of the factor back in 2016 was all my friends were dating. All of my friends, all my roommates. Tuko uni, everyone had mpoa wake, permanent wake, and hindo wako hapo tu na vitabu. I somehow felt out of place. Sasa nikaanza, I was like, si mi pia nitafute mpoa. Kwani ni, you know, like such things, hiyo peer pressure ya kirongo. Anywho, I landed a guy, and to be honest, at first nilikuwa hata simpendi. I was like, na mi pia atakuwa niko na mtu. But later on, the guy akawa my therapist. Like, we were more of each other's therapist than we were like girlfriend boyfriend, because we never used to do hizi stories za girlfriend boyfriend ati kumate sijui kuvurugana kwani mimi ni ukwaju alivuruga nyinyi mnacheza nyinyi. Anyhow, we used to like talk about feelings ambao people like normally won't talk about. Yeye alikuwa akinieleza za kwao, mimi nikimueleza za kwetu, because alikuwa ni from another country. But somehow like we got to understand one another more than we were physical. Like hiyo story ya physical ilikuwa hakuna. Hiyo story hiyo kwanza hakuna. Allah hapendi oneni hawa. Anyhow, sasa the same mistake nilifanya back then, it's sahi ndo sitaki kufanya. I just don't want to be with someone because I'm lonely. Sijui mmenielewa? Like I get it. I'm not like sikatai, I am lonely. Lakini pia I don't want nikubali tu mwanaume because I am lonely. Do you guys understand hiyo statement? Ama naongea kizungu ama ki-Greek? So first I'll explain some of the coping mechanism one can use. Kisha nitawaeleza na the ones I've used mimi personally. Mimi mwenyewe nimetumia gani kitu kama hiyo, sawa? So, coping with loneliness can be challenging, but there are various strategies and techniques that can help individuals alleviate feelings of isolation and build more meaningful social connections. Here are some effective coping strategies for loneliness. Number 1, acknowledge and accept your feelings. This is the first thing. Ona mimi nimekubali, sikudanganyi. Recognize that it's okay to feel lonely at times. Accept your emotions without judgment. In the first step is in addressing loneliness. Accept kuwa I am lonely is the first step ku address. Unajua uki accept kwa una malaria ni easier treat than who accept wewe wasema mimi sina malaria. Ukipewa zile dawa za malaria utareject na wewe una malaria. Sawa? Another thing ni self compassion. Be kind to yourself. Treat yourself with the same compassion and understanding you will offer to a friend going through a difficult time. So speaking of this, I read the book The Mountain Is You. There is a part about self-sabotage. Nikasoma na nikaona kuwa I am self-sabotaging myself, imagine. And this is something I need to learn, mimi as Hindu. Another mweza jaribu ni connect with others. Actively seek out social interaction. Reach out to friends, family members, or acquaintances and make plans to meet up, even if it's just for coffee or a chat. Like, plan tu ukiwa una beshte yako yuko wapi, like, ondoa ule uvivu, useme, let me just go. Shaona? Hivo yani. Make such things happen. Call that friend. Hivo yani. Shaona? Another thing ni join social groups. Participate in clubs, organization, or social media and align with yourself, with your interest. This can provide opportunities to meet like-minded people and build friendships. Volunteer is a great way to connect with others while also giving back to the community. It can provide a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Engage in hobbies and activity. Pursue hobbies or activities that you enjoy. This can be an opportunity to meet people who you share your interests, same interests yani. Kisha online communities. Join online forums, groups, or communities related to your interests or hobbies. Engaging in online discussions can help alleviate feelings of isolation. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness technique can help you stay present and reduce negative thoughts and anxiety associated with loneliness. Meditation can promote emotional well-being. Another wazafanya ni seek professional help. If loneliness is significantly impacting your mental health, consider seeking the guidance of a therapist, counselor who can help you explore the underlying cause of and develop coping strategies. This is very powerful, by the way. Set realistic expectation. Understand that building meaningful relation takes time. Don't expect instant results. Be patient and persistent in your efforts to connect with others. Limit social media. While social media can be a tool of connecting, it can also if used excessively or in a way that promotes comparison, consider limiting your time on social media platforms. Physical activity. Regular exercise has been shown to boost mood and reduce feelings of loneliness. Consider incorporating physical activity into your routine. Write a journal. Hey, nani andiki journal kama Hindu? Anyhow, write a journal. Expressing your feelings through writing can be therapeutic. Consider keeping a journal to document your emotions and seek experiences. Seek professional help. If feelings of loneliness persist and significantly impact your mental health, consider seeking the guidance of a therapist, a counselor who specializes in addressing loneliness. Remember that coping with loneliness is a process that it's okay to seek support when needed. Umesikia? Building meaningful connection and addressing loneliness often requires time and effort, but taking proactive steps can lead to positive changes in your social and emotional well-being. Sasa, let me tell you the things I've used for coping loneliness. Number one, I've acknowledged and accepted my feelings. I am lonely. Like, seriously, me, I accept. I do feel lonely. Na imekuwa persistent since Feb. Yaenda kisha yarudi. Like, yaenda, like, there is a way I know how to navigate, lakini it has been persistent for the last, tuseme, 7 months. 7 ama 8. Anywho, I've tried connecting with others And kwangu mimi imekuwa ni ngumu to initiate to meet with people. Like, I don't know, mimi ukiniambia no mara ya kwanza, mara ya pili, mara ya tatu usikutafuti. Like, I feel like I am a burden to you. I don't know, you guys, are we feeling the same feelings? Anywho, I have friends who are persistent though. Wana persist into to meet, then I end up meeting them. Lakini ati mi ikawa ni no ya kwanza, ya pili, like I try not to kuenda tena. And then connecting with others imenifanya weekends, if I feel niko peke yangu, a friend of mine aitwa Najma, she has a shop yuauza sweet, the cupcakes nini, she has a place huwa naenda, I just have conversation na yeye, we talk, she'll soon appear on my podcast. We just go and talk about life, yeye pia ni first girl child kwao, yeye ndo the eldest daughter, pia yeye she's from the same community kama mimi, so there are a lot of things that connect us. So I've been doing that. Pia with Mahaz we go painting, like I don't know, you guys, I am trying, I am flirting with the idea of loneliness in a good way for me. It takes two to tango. So I am tangoing with my loneliness. I've tried joining social group. Kuna hii networking with a purpose ya Nadia Ahmed, the former CAS, mashallah. I have, and I've made meaningful connections from there. Hii kuvolunteer, I haven't. I feel like it's been long since I volunteer. It's something I'll do here. Hobbies and activities, I've started, nimejirudisha back to painting, because at one point I used to love painting, kisha nikaacha. But sahi I am back, and I want to paint more paintings this year than any year that I've ever done. Ushaona? Hizi online communities I have engaged some, hivyo yani. Your professional help sijafanya. Physical activities sometimes nikiona imezidi, I walk from kazini to nyumbani. It takes me around 30 minutes, but I walk, kisha like najaribu hizi breathing mechanism, hizo such things. Kisha I feel like should I say this? Anyhow, ngoja kwanza nikwambia hii journaling. I do journal, and kimpango yanisaidia, lakini of late sija journal, I think 2 months I haven't. But inshallah I'll get back to it, and I'll feel less lonely. Another thing, I have started seeking out, like I am open to, let's say, dating, but most men wakisikia huyu msichana yotaka kudate, they feel like yotaka kuolewa huyu. No, I want to have meaningful connection with someone. I don't want to, like, unioe kisha still bado na feel lonely, I feel like it's better to feel lonely ukiwa uko single than ukiwa umeolewa. Ama you guys, ninyi muona gani is better, uwe lonely single ama lonely ukiwa uko kwa marriage? Which one is better to you? And personally, hii seek out help has helped me. Wajua, before 2022, like before I met kina Mahaz, Fraitam, like that period, no one knew me, to be honest kabisa. And then my boss, I don't know, my boss listens to this podcast. We've been helping each other emotionally, like twazungumza, we feel less lonely with one another, hivyo yani. And then she has the audacity kusafiri, yani like someone nimeshukisha all my walls for is now 400 kilometers away from me. Jamani, hii ni haki kweli? I don't know, maybe nitamfuata ama arudi, either mimi niende ama yeye akuje. But anyway, like with her around, I was able to heal part of myself ambayo yeye hata hajui. Like she doesn't know this. This is like akisikiza hii podcast, it's when she'll know. She has been able to help me cope with a lot of things kwenye kichwa changu. Like I don't know, there's that connection, like she's there like a big sister. She like, to be honest, to me I don't view her as a boss. Wajua watu waona boss like you need to be like nini. No, mimi na yeye it's more of she's like a sister to me, like a big sister. Basi msione big sister mkaona ni mkubwa sana. Yeye pia ni millennial tu kama mimi, ni wa 90s. Anyway, I this is an appreciation to her. Wallahi, she has healed part of me that I never knew needed healing. Ushaona? Na her not being around sahi, like, to be honest, it's not fun. Her not being here. I've never admitted it to her. Lakini wherever you are, Amina, wallahi, I feel like where? Hey, mambo ya wazungu. Anyway, I feel like ni ngumu yani surviving without you. It's hard. Wallahi tena. It really is. And hey, you guys see haba hii si ya video. Anyhow, that's that. Like it's been hard. I've tried. Kisha there was a time yeye hayuko, my husband was in Garissa. I felt like I was left all alone. Like niko tu peke yangu. I was jamanini, it's not a good feeling, I tell you. Having two of your most inside people wako kwenye roho not around. Nini guys, mi sioni nikisurvive long distance relationship. Sioni. Anyhow, so mimi I then decided to make new friends. Like they were not new, just connection. I needed to make new connection, like meaningful connection. That's why I used to go to Najma's place. We start talking hizo random topics ambao affecting both of us, and somehow I like wasikia kidogo raha. I've been going out. I've ever gone on a brunch date with Nadia, the former CAS, and Jamila, and we talk about certain issues, and I don't know, I felt happy. Kimpango, like, you know, like having someone else to talk to. It's, you guys, nyinyi, hii mambo ya loneliness si kitu rahisi. Inshallah, I'll return with the Asriya. I'll advertise. Ngoja ni post hii. I'm posting it on Friday. After that, your weekend, I'll advertise for the Asriya. I need to know your place to aenda. Because, wallahi, to be honest, I want meaningful connections. Kisha, resources ambao nimetumia to kunisaidia mimi kupunguza loneliness. I don't know, ni hivyo journaling. I think I'm going back, talking to people. Like I want to lower my walls kiasi. I let people in, tuongee kitu kama hiyo. Kisha those are the things that have helped me, and inshallah I want to increase hii kuongea na Amina more. I don't know, I'll talk to her tujue what are we doing, because ni ngumu mimi. And sasa shida yangu sijui kucommunicate. Imagine mimi naongea hapa, yeye haven't told her that this is what I'm feeling. Kimpango, I feel like ameniacha, you know, like guys, she went for greener pastures obviously. Lakini like personally I feel like I know haijaisha friendship yetu. I know that is for a fact. Lakini distance has somehow corrupted relationship yetu. Inshallah I'll be having at least a week niwe nikimpigia, like we just talk, tusiongee kazi, we just talk how we are, like tuko aje mentally, you know. That's how we used to do like almost every day na yeye hapa kwa office. But now hayuko anyway, inshallah. Ndo where life is hard. Another kitu nitaka kuongea about loneliness is connecting with others and building a community. Here inshallah I am going to start an asriya. Nishaanza, by the way. I've started the first session. I'm going to do another session. We are going to do si mambo ya business, as I've said. We'll go do some activities with the women of my age, because I feel like si peke yangu na experience hizi feelings. I am not the only one. I feel like if you are a woman in Nairobi, a lady in Nairobi, and you feel like you want to connect more, like reach out, the group is already there. We do a 3 segment 2 ambao we can go just have fun, you know, a bunch of girls having fun, kitu kama hiyo. Tufanye sense of community despite us feeling lonely, but at least we will have like, you'll have a sister in one of us, and we'll have a sister in you, you know. And for my listeners who are experiencing such, wallahi, I support you, and seek out support networks or engage in activities that interests you. And then you go out of your way, call that friend, schedule that meeting, like, you know, do it. Tusikae tu tumeweka kwenye tumeweka kwenye roho zetu. Kisha I'm inviting listeners to share experiences zenu na coping strategies zenu. What coping strategies have you done kukusaidia? Ona, like you let me know. Kisha you let me know like experience gani yako ndo imework. Sasa let me just summarize whatever I was talking. Waona hii loneliness, it's a feeling ambao it's normal, it's valid, it's good to accept that you are lonely somehow. Ukisha ku accept, it's easier for you to take strategies. Lazima ujue what caused your loneliness, like prevalence, hizo factors za loneliness yako, ndo ujue how to counter your loneliness. And I'll stress this, I will say this, I will never say this kidogo, I'm stressing this, seek out help. And for me, I am always there for anyone else feeling lonely, because nimerealize, na by the way, loneliness is not only affecting women, it also affects men. And never ever settle just because you are lonely. Ujione wacha basi ni drop all my standards, I just settle for mediocre. In any field you do, usi settle for mediocre. Si job, si a partner, a spouse of your lifetime. Usiseme let me just lower my standards, ama because mi niko lonely let me just wacha tu nikubali. No, don't do that. Hiyo utaji affect and utafeel more lonely with someone besides you. Afadhali mi naona uwe huna mtu na ufeel lonely than ufeel lonely na uko kwa relationship. You know, it's more draining. Ona. Kisha it's okay to seek professional help if needed, and you are not alone in these experiences. I want to say me kama Hindu Hussein, with 5,377 followers on Instagram and 21.2 thousand followers on TikTok, still I feel lonely. And it's been there for more than 7 months. I imagine if someone like me can feel lonely. It's very okay for someone like you to feel lonely and to seek out help. Usione ni aibu ati wasikia upweke. No, usione ni aibu kabisa. These things happen to the best of us. Anywho, thank you for tuning in. Na pia usisahau kusubscribe, share, reach out if you have suggestion for future podcast topics, ama if you want to join you want to join me on another topic ambao you feel like it needs kuongelelewa kwa yani kwa ufafanuzi zaidi. Thank you for listening till the end of the show. From your lovely host, it's your girl Hindu from your favorite podcast channel. It's your girl and other stories. Stay tuned for more crazy stories. Salut!